Thank you.
You may speak. State your name first.
My name is Tristan Porch. I am 12 years old, and I've just ended my 6th grade year at Woodlawn Middle School. In 6 years, I will be a registered voter. Today, I want to talk to you because
How long?
Today, I want to talk to you because I think it's very important that funding is restored to the budget to sustain and expand access to early childhood education. I'm a graduate of an early childhood education program, and because my mom was able to benefit from CCAP when we were smaller, she was able to work to build us the life that we have now. I'm really grateful for that. I believe that all Louisiana children and families should have the same opportunity, and that is why I'm here today to ask you to strongly consider restoring the approximate $52 million that was removed by the Appropriations Committee that would allow us to save roughly 4,000 of 16,000 much needed seats that we risk losing due to expiring federal funds. This investment would allow many parents and caregivers to focus on providing for their families, and as a result, I believe that as a society, we all would benefit. Thank you for taking the time to listen to me about why it's important to save the seats.
Thank you, and you did an excellent job. Thanks. Where's your mom at? There she is. Good job. Okay.
I'm Mary Leach Warner. I'm very happy to be here today. Thank you for having us. I represent the Louisiana Policy Institute for Children, president of the board of the Institute. I'm also representing the business community today. The restoration of the $51 to $52 million would save 4,000 of the 16,000 seats that are going to be lost.
Okay. Save 4,000.
Save 4,000
of the
only.
16,000 that we currently have.
12,000 children will lose services.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow. That's very impactful across the state. And then one of the things that you said, I'm sorry, ma'am, I didn't catch your name in the middle.
Jamie Martin.
Miss Martin, you talked about how much this represent of an individual's disposable income. You say 49%. Daycare represent about 49% of someone's disposable.
At my current rates, I was going by my center.
Okay.
If it's $195 a week for an infant, if they make between $10 and $13 an hour, it's 40 to 49% of their income.
Well, that number is really alarming because in order to purchase a home, you cannot have more than 28% of your disposable income. So that means that many individuals are probably placed in a situation, if they don't have other income, where they cannot even afford to purchase a home. And so this really tremendously impacts single women. Is one of the things I guess I'm trying to bring up.
Single women, single dads,
Yeah.
grandparents raising their grandchildren.
Grandchildren, yeah.
Historically, they would be able to get child care assistance, have the newborn apply the next day even, and by the time they needed care at 6 weeks, they'd have
They
child
would
care
have it.
assistance in place and ready to go to work. That's not the case now.
And Ms. Warner, we've made some great strides, I believe, in early education. This, to me, would be like a rewind, or we'll be going backwards if we do this. I mean,
Exactly, Senator. Listening this morning to Louisiana, the statistics of where we fall so far for our most vulnerable citizens, and to talk about the access for our babies, 0 to 3 is the birth to 3 is the population we're talking about.
Right.
And as a business owner, I have to tell you, in the hospitality industry here in Baton Rouge and the agricultural community in Southwest Louisiana that I represent, our employees being able to have access at the 6-week mark, which is, sorry, in my opinion, still too early for a mother to have to take her child to childcare, but for these folks to be able to go to work and earn a living. We have, through the federal funding during the pandemic, we were able to increase seats to offer services to 16,000 children. But I want to be clear, there are still over 100,000 babies to age 3 out there whose parents don't have access to safe and quality early child care. And I know you were all in town last week and heard the news story of those babies who were not in a safe location, who were horrifically injured because they did not have a safe place for child care. If that didn't strike your heart, and that's just one example of the many, many children and the parents who agonize every day where their children are going to be for the day
Absolutely.
while they try to make a living. As an hourly employee, as a salaried employee, does not matter. And we face this in our company with our salaried employees. We have grandmothers who job share so that they can go pick up their children grandchildren while their children are at work.
Work.
This is a statewide problem, and we need to restore this 50 million to at least keep these 4,000 children.
That's right. And then
But
be looking,
12,000 will still lose their spots.
and how many did you say on the waiting list? Did you say 100,000?
There's over 100,000 children not being served in the state of Louisiana right now.
Yeah, we need to be figuring out how we work on that number as well. But thank you so very much for your testimony. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Senator Womack, it's not on. When it lights up, you're on.
Thank you. On now. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So we're going from 12,000 to 4,000?
If we restore the $52 million in the budget, 4,000, from 16,000 children, 4,000 seats will be saved.
Okay. How do you determine what 4,000 will be saved? Am I missing something there?
That would be children who can still access the CCAP money.
Okay. But the other 8,000 will be out, right?
Their families would lose access to those funds.
Is that proportionally across the state or?
Across the state, yes, sir. I
Okay.
don't know the regional, there's other folks who can speak to those specific numbers.
Okay. Could they come to the table?
Certainly. Thank you so much. Thank you, Senator White.
Members, let me tell you where we are. I was just handed about another 50 to 60 cards that want to talk.
Okay.
So we're going to organize and try to get one from each group talk, or I'm going to give you 1 minute to talk, whichever way you want to do it, because we got to be out of here by 12:20 or so. Okay? Thanks.
I'll be quick. Dr. Libby Sonia, Executive Director of the Louisiana Policy Institute for Children. At the height, with all the COVID dollars that were in the state related just for childcare, we had approximately 28,000 children that were being served. With no new state additional funding and seats, we would go down to approximately about 13,000 children that would be served. There's a delta of 16,000 seats with that $200 million coming out of the state because it's been spent on children. And so the 4,000 seats that we're talking about is the $52 million that the House took out in an amendment. And so we're talking about at least saving 4,000 of the 16,000 seats that are in need right now.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. You through, Senator Womack? What?
Yep. She already spoke. Did Courtney Rogers speak?
Did Courtney Rogers speak?
Agenda for children?
Does anybody know? I'm just asking, did you speak? We're trying to go through all these cards. They're laying everywhere.
Okay.
All right, hold on. Who are you with, sir?
Brace Trade Godfrey, Baton Rouge Area Chamber.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I knew who you were.
That's
Grew a
all
beard
good.
on me. All right, you go ahead.
Sure.
Who are you with, ma'am?
Leanne Price. I own a early learning center in Pineville, Louisiana.
Okay, you two, and then you. Okay, let's go.
Okay, thank you, Senator White, ladies and gentlemen of the committee. Good morning. I got your message loud and clear, Senator. I will keep this brief. My organization is the Economic Development Organization for the 9-parish capital region, and we look at early child care and education as economic development infrastructure. It's an enabler for folks to have the opportunity to work and to engage very deeply in their careers. You all may have seen a press release go out from my organization just last week that said that the capital region has the highest employment that it ever has before. There are 424,200 people in the capital region in jobs. Many of those are able to engage in those numbers because they have access to early care for their children. There's 14,000 more people in the capital region working today than there were last year. The other tie-in that I'd make is a conversation that, Senator, you know we have a lot here in the capital region, and that's around public safety. And so you heard some of the research that exists about children who had access to high-quality early care and education programs, and the things that we know when you look at predictors and you look at public safety. The number one predictor of criminal activity is non-completion of high school. The number one predictor of that, though, is not doing grade level mathematics in the 8th grade or reading in the 3rd grade. The number one predictor of that lack of success is a lack of preparation for kindergarten. And the number one predictor for that is a lack of access to high quality early care and education. A young lady said it earlier. She said, we pay now or we pay later. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, with the way that we incarcerate in this state, we're absolutely paying right now. So this, looking at a different way of investing into our people to create better outcomes, is an opportunity. Thank you, Senator.
Excellent, a little under 2 minutes.
Did my best.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm Leanne Price, and I'm just going to add to what he said, is why early learning is so important. Pam Schiller said this: what you teach me birth to 3 will matter most to me. What you teach me 3 to 5 will help me thrive. The brain is 80% wired by age 3. So our work that we do every day is crucial for what this future has of every child. And Louisiana is doing phenomenal work in early childhood. And the money is not wasted. It's not just about childcare. We're not just learning shapes, colors, and ABCs. We are teaching children how to think. We're teaching children how to solve problems. It's wonderful, okay? So I just want to put that out there, that research also shows that the richer the environment, the more intentional and purposeful the interactions and experience are, the greater the number of neurological connections children are able to forge. It's important that what we do, we have skilled teachers who lay the foundation of safety, love, and learning, which is their basis for everything they do in the future. And we will see a difference in our elementary schools and in our high schools when we put in right here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for your testimony.
Hi, my name is Courtney Rogers, and I am the director of the Judy Watts Center for Policy and Advocacy at Agenda for Children. I'm going to keep this short. I asked you guys to include a full $200 million in the budget. That is the dollar amount that will cover the 16,000 seats that are losing. The $52 million is only covering 4,000 of those seats, and I think it's very important that we maintain access to early care and education for all of those families. Families were able to go back to work, into the workforce for the first time. There's children who are in programs, who are getting strong educational foundations, and we should not kick them out. And so at the very least, restore the $52 million, but my ask today is that we make sure that we maintain access for all of those children who are losing access, and that will be $200 million. So thank you.
Thank you, Courtney. Okay, I don't know why that mic keeps going off. Okay,
Mr. Chairman and distinguished members of the committee, my name is Charmaine Cassiope, and I have the privilege of serving as the Chief Operating Officer and Executive Vice President for United Way of Southeast Louisiana. I thank you very much for giving us this opportunity today to speak to you about an issue that is a core value of United Way of Southeast Louisiana. For the 18 years that I have had the privilege of working for United Way of Southeast Southeast Louisiana, I have appeared countless times before this committee and others requesting increased investment in early care and education. There is nothing more important and nothing I believe we are morally obligated to do than to make the profound investment in Louisiana's greatest resource, its children. I can tell you, you've heard today from a very esteemed group of individuals about the economic implications. I'm here as a funder of early care and education. I represent our Board of Trustees, Women United, and all of the individuals that are investing in United Way. I am profoundly proud to tell you that last year alone, in our budget, we provided over $100,000 to fund early care and education centers. But I also want to tell you that United Way stands well positioned because at the peak of COVID, we took the initiative knowing full well that these profoundly important businesses that thrive within our 7-parish region were in desperate need of someone holding their hand to secure the kind of federal resources they were incapable of being able to draw down. I want you to know, because of our United Way, we partnered together with Loyola College of Law, and we funded a program that brought millions of federal dollars to these thriving small businesses so that they could remain open. And we are now holding their hand through the work that we are doing to help them build business cases for how they expand and thrive following that. So you see, I ask the state to please consider funding for the entire 16,000 seats that are so desperately needed, many of them by our Alice families. You've heard those individuals who are asset limited, income constrained, employed, but want the same opportunities for their precious children that we all do. Please help us and understand that I couldn't be more proud than to represent United Way, who's not only advocating by the financial investment we are making, but we are also working tirelessly to ensure that local municipal governments see themselves as your partners in this work. What we have done to expand funding in Orleans and in Jefferson and across our 7-parish region has been nothing short of miraculous. And I am so proud that we see ourselves as your partners. Let's make this happen. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Cassiope.
Good morning.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Good morning,
What's your
Senate.
name?
Fine. My name is Pamela Allison.
Okay.
I'm representing United Way of Southeast Louisiana, and also I am a grandmother. And my granddaughter, Kalani Hadley, just turned 2 years old, and she has been on the waiting list to attend a child care facility, and she's finally next in line to be accepted. I wish you could meet my beautiful granddaughter, Kalani. When she enters a room, she just makes a grand entrance and lights up the room. I mean, you just want to hug her and kiss her. But she's waiting on that list to attend the child care center. And I can tell you, when we go to the grocery store, it's like, okay, we have to wait. We have to make time for 10 to 20 more minutes because everybody wants to talk to her.
I understand.
You see, if we do not receive the extra ECE funding, I do not know if she's going to be able to attend a child care center. I urge you to support a state budget that includes funding specifically for early care and education. Businesses lose money when parents can't go to work, and parents need child care to support their families. While 16,000 child care seats will be lost statewide due to expiring federal funding, $52 million would save approximately 4,000 of those seats. So I urge you today to please consider putting those funds back into the budget. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your testimony.